So it's time for another gun review. I know I've been out of the scene for a little while. I've just been very busy. What have I been doing? Maybe I've been testing this gun. In fact, I have, but not the whole time. That's a separate issue. Scuba class, all that kind of fun stuff. We've really been going at it. But that's okay. We're back now with this gun review. North American Arms. This is going to be a review of the North American Arms Mini Revolver. I got it for Christmas this last year, and I've been playing with it quite a bit, testing it out, and I can give you my honest opinions on it now. First of all, what do you get in the box here? Just a plain box. It comes with a hard case inside, which some of the Rugers don't. They give you that stupid cardboard crap. Nonsense, Ruger. Your basic information, it comes in this sleeve, so let's take it out. Take a look at the information here so you can steal my number, my serial number here, and go to the gulag. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's not that bad. No, Andy's not a little dictator. No, he's a good person. What do we have here? The 22 Magnum conversion. We'll talk about that in a second. I have the 1 1/8 inch barrel. It's also offered in a 1 5/8 inch barrel. I didn't want that, and I'll show you why in a moment. And the model number NAA 22 MSC. And there's the serial for everybody that is interested. Now we're going to open it up and take a look. If you can hear the humming in the background, which I'm sure you can, it is the air conditioner. It is 93 degrees outside, so the southern people are like, that ain't too bad, that's a normal day. And the up north will be like, oh my god, hey mate, I would have fried my balls off, eh? Okay, so here it is. The NAA Mini Revolver with the conversion cylinder. Let's take a look at it. It is chambered in 22 long rifle, and of course the things that go with 22 long rifle, like 22 short and the 22 CB shorts, and 22 Magnum. You cannot shoot 22 Magnum unless you have the specific Magnum cylinder, and you cannot shoot long rifle in the Magnum cylinder. It's weird how it works like that, because normally when you have an interchangeable round like that, like the Special and the Magnum, 38 Special and then 357 Magnum, you can interchange them. You can't with the 22. There's something to do with the wall thickness. I believe that's what I've been told. And if you shoot a long rifle in a Magnum cylinder, it will expand, and it could possibly rupture, and that's never a good thing. You don't want that to happen. So it's best not to just mess around with it. Let's move this conversion cylinder off to the side for a bit. And here is the gun. Again, chambered in 22 and 22 Magnum, and the cylinder that is currently in there is the long rifle cylinder. And the way you can tell which one is in the gun is, I'll take the other one out and show you, but on the long rifle one there will be an L on the front of the cylinder face. So that's how you can tell the difference between the two. The long rifle one can shoot all of them except Magnum. The Magnum one can only shoot Magnum. This is the Magnum cylinder. Okay, so to get the cylinder out, what you're going to do is you're going to press the pin in. It's got a little detent pin. You push that in, and then you pull the pin out. This is how you're going to get the cylinder out. Then you put the cylinder in you put the hammer in a half cock, and it has a little half cock stop there, and it will fall out. I always take it out in that direction. I'm not sure if you can take it out in this direction because of this lip here. So here is the long rifle cylinder, and if you'll notice, right there's an L that lets you know that this is the long rifle one. This one is a little dirty, because I shoot a lot more long rifle in there than I do Magnum for the obvious price reasons. But hey, long rifle is like gold nowadays, so I've actually been finding more Magnum, so good thing that I have both, right? So what was the price on this kit here with everything? I've actually paid $260 for this kit, even though it was a Christmas present. I paid $206 for it, and that's not bad considering you get the extra cylinder with it. You can buy the extra cylinder separately, but you can't do it after the fact without sending it into the factory. You can't buy the long rifle or you can't buy the Magnum and then buy the opposite cylinder without sending it into the factory, because it needs to be indexed properly to your gun. It's a very sophisticated gunsmithing process there, so you have to send the whole gun into the factory. Not a huge deal. Sending guns in the mail isn't scary like they make it sound to be, but I would suggest just getting them both right off the bat, so that way you don't have to deal with that. So, put the long rifle cylinder back in, and let's talk about the gun a little bit. To put it back in, you just leave it in half cock, and then I like to get, let's focus in on this here, I like to get one of those notches and put it on the lip, and then roll it up a little bit. Then take your pin, put it in, the little detent ball has to go to the top there, and it's back together. Now, the features of this gun, it features a single action trigger, and it's a bit heavy for my taste. I would say it's probably about 7 pounds on the single action trigger. It's actually quite heavy. I don't like to dry fire rimfire guns, so I'm not going to do that. So single action only, and it's a bit of a heavy trigger, but then again, you're not really going to be going for accuracy in a gun that is this small. The length on it from front to back is 4 3/4 inches. Again, it's got a 1 1/8 inch barrel from here to here, not just this part right here, but all the way from the back here to here is 1 1/8 inch. The reason I didn't get the 1 5/8 inch barrel is because the barrel comes out longer than this pin here, and I thought that looked kind of stupid, so I decided against that. It is 2 7/8 inches tall. So, in fact, let me go get a bill. You can fit it all on a dollar bill. Well, that's not entirely true. That's hanging off a little bit there. But you can fit it all on a dollar bill, and it is 7/8 inch thick. So it's really small, real good pocket carry. I've only carried it once, but we'll talk about that in a second. Another thing to mention here is it weighs 5.9 ounces. It's not a very heavy gun at all, but it's actually very heavy for its size. It's not heavy, but it really feels very, very well made, very well put together. Almost feels like an Apple product. I always say that when something feels really well put together, I guess that says something for their company, both Apple and North American Arms. So, what would I say the use of something like this would be? Well, fun. I know some people really can't get behind that concept, but you can actually use firearms for fun. Everybody nowadays has to be, well, I wouldn't trust my life to that or this and that. You know, you can have some fun, and this little thing is a blast to shoot, especially when you put in some 22 Magnums out of this barrel. It barks like a walrus, and in addition, it has a pretty good amount of recoil when you put those Magnums in there. So I cannot really complain on the fun aspect. You can also use it as a backup gun for self-defense. Personally, I wouldn't like to use a 22. That's the reason I've only carried it once. I would not like to use a 22 for self-defense, and this is the point where everybody says, yeah, I bet you're not willing to stand in front of a 22 and get shot by it. I wouldn't like to have somebody cut a particularly strong fart in my face, but that doesn't mean that I would like to use that as a self-defense mechanism. I would not choose 22, not for the stopping power, but rimfires are notoriously unreliable. As you'll notice, if you get a brick of, say, the 550 pack, which are about worth more value than gold now. Speaking of gold, I bet you're jealous. Just ordered that on Cabela's. Anywho, if you get a 550 pack, look how many failures you get. You're almost certainly going to get a few, and that's not something I'd be willing to risk my life with. Even with CCI Mini Mags, I've had a failure or two. Yes, albeit less, but I don't think I would personally trust my life to this. But that doesn't mean that it's not fun. And if you don't have any other choice and you really need deep concealment, this thing can fit in a change pocket, then that'll be your choice. It's better than nothing. I'll certainly tell you it's better than poking the eye with a sharp stick. God, I feel like I was born in the 50s or something. Why would I say something like that? But one thing I would like to mention is with the short barrel, with the Magnum, sometimes the Magnum's keyhole in the target, i.e. they go through sideways, not the way intended. Not a terrible, terrible thing at the close distances that you would be using this at, but I have had the Magnum's keyhole a couple times because you've got that much gunpowder and that much power coming out of a barrel only that big. They don't quite get the spin on them, and sometimes they do keyhole, but they haven't really caused any big issues, and I haven't had any dangerously inaccurate shots, so I let it live. As for the shooting of the gun, like I said, it's got a bit of a heavy trigger, and the accuracy is not great, but you don't need it to be great, because again, it's just supposed to be a defensive gun. I wouldn't use it as that, but that's what it's marketed as. I don't really want to do the whole, oh, I can get them all in an inch, I can do, a minute of angle, because that's not the purpose of this gun. I like to speak in more real terms. From about 2 or 3 yards, I can put them all in a 12-ounce can. If you're going to go plinking, I guess that's good. Another thing you might want to use this gun for, another POU, would be if you a trail gun. If you have like snakes or some other small pests, you can get the 22 long rifle and 22 Magnum shot shells, and this would definitely dispatch a small rodent like that. You'd have no problem with that. But it's a blast to shoot, and it really is. It's loud as hell, and when you put those 22 Magnums in there, it does have a significant amount of kick. It will want to fly out of your hand when you have those 22 Magnums in there, because of such the short barrel. It's got a good bit of recoil there. Overall, it's really well made. It feels, like I said, it feels really great in the hand. You can get different grips for it. It comes with these wooden grips. I will have a Let's Shoot video with this where I'm going to run it through the chrono so you can get the velocities, because the velocities take a humongous hit when you're comparing them coming out of a rifle barrel to this tiny barrel. So you'll get to see a better idea of what kind of stopping power it actually has. And of course we'll shoot some fun things with it, we'll have some fun. But again, it's really well made. Lifetime warranty, by the way, and North American Arms has a great warranty. In case you do something stupid like decide to be a cowboy and fan fire it. Yes, you can do that. Yes, I have done it, and no, I wouldn't suggest it. And if you break it, if you do manage to break it, from what I've heard, North American Arms has similar to a Zippo warranty, which they don't care how it got broken, they will repair it. But then again, who likes to abuse things like that, right? Again, I would suggest you get it with the conversion kit, because that gives you many options. You can use the 22 Magnum when that's all you can find in the store, and you can use the long rifle when, hell, we're not in some sort of weird ammo shortage, DHS buying 2 million rounds, all that stuff. No, nothing's happened. No, it's good country, good times. July 4th, right? Yeah, rock on. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked again. So yes, for $260, which I got this for, you can probably get it a little bit cheaper. I didn't want to really screw over my dealer, my FFL. He's a good guy, so we made a deal. It was a little bit more than what it was online, which is to be expected. But he said he'd give it to me for $260, and that's what I got it for. For both of the cylinders, I cannot really complain. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but you should have seen it. They are 5-shot cylinders. They're not 6. They're also not 4. But they are 5-shot cylinders. And it really, with the fact that you need to take the pin out to open up the cylinder, it slows down your shooting, so you can have a nice long shooting day with these. And just make sure you bring your protection, because like I said, it does bark. But I would definitely recommend it to anybody that's been looking at it. I wouldn't carry it for defense. Not saying that it would be bad, it's just not something that I would do. It's a blast to shoot, and I don't know why people get these things and say, well, you know, on second thought, maybe I can get a Ruger LCP or something like that. Yeah, there are better defensive options, but, I mean, isn't this the smallest gun you've ever seen, except one of those stupid little pin-firing guns? I mean, come on, that's just classic. Plus, little fun fact here, yeah, and I'm not going to charge you for this. In the movie Hot Fuzz, there is a scene where the guy who looks like Stuart Ashen, what's his name? Oh, you know, the guy from Shaun of the Dead, whatever. They're walking through the town there, and a priest comes out, and he whips out 2 of these things on spring-loaded things that he has in his hand. It's a really cool scene, and it's 2. So yes, this has been featured in a movie. Oh, a little bonus fact for you trivia buffs out there. Oh, I almost forgot one other feature here. If you're thinking about carrying, it is a single-action revolver. Obviously, you're not going to carry it cocked, and you don't want to carry it down on a round like that. But instead of carrying 4 beans in the wheel, what you can do are, let's take the cylinder here. There are safety notches cut in the cylinder here. Safety notches cut in the cylinder, so you can actually rest the hammer in the safety notch in between 2 of the actual chambers, and that way you won't have the hammer on a live round, because there is no hammer block. I was going to say firing pin block. No, there's definitely not one of those, but there's no hammer block, so if you did drop it and it was sitting on a round, it could hit the hammer and it could go off. But all you do to get it on one of those safety notches is you half cock it, and then I pull the trigger and put it right in the safety notch, and you'll see it's sitting between 2 chambers right there, and you can carry it safely like that if you do decide to carry it. Or, hell, even if you're going on a hike through the woods and not concealed carrying it, you have it as a pest gun, and you don't particularly want the gun to go off and blow a hole in your ass, that's a nice feature. So, go out and buy one if you've been thinking about it. I've seen some reviews on YouTube, some good reviews, some bad reviews, and I thought I would weigh in with my thing. So it gets a thumbs up for me. Kind of okay. I wouldn't do it for carrying. On the fun factor, it definitely is a blast, and with the lifetime warranty and the craftsmanship, it's definitely a good investment, and it's got a good resale value if you do decide to sell it. So alright, thanks for watching this review. Go out and buy one if you're interested, or go out and spend $500 on a brick of 22 if you're not. Anyway, thanks for watching, and take it easy, guys.